All right, so let's talk about the teaching team for Revive. What does that look like for our youth if they want to be on the teaching team?
Okay, the teaching team is super, super important. So the youth have really, really, really good ideas on what's relevant to them. And instead of us as adults, not teens anymore. Anyway, they know what is important and relevant to them, to their friends and what they're going through. And so we want to hear those experiences, and we want to reframe those in a spiritual context. What does our faith say about that? Here are these struggles, whether it have been social media or mental health, or these very important topics, these
And very real
yes,
topics.
very real
That
topics
you can incorporate your faith into
yes,
everyday life.
that's right. That's
right?
right.
Even social media.
That's
you can
right.
incorporate your faith
That's
there.
right. And in fact, God has sort of given us a blueprint for that. We just have to look, and those answers are there. And maybe it's not verbatim, but the application of what Scripture tells us, our catechism, our tradition of our rich tradition of our Catholic faith, is such a great guidance. And so the teaching team we've come up with several topics already. We'll be working closely with Kevin on what that looks like on a month-to-month basis, and then we'll develop the teaching. We call it the proclaim, so like the message, and then we'll work with our speakers closely as to what that looks like and flesh those details out.
Perfect. And
yes.
any activities or anything that go along with that.
Exactly.
So when is the teaching team meeting?
Yes. So the teaching team meeting is with the creative team.
Perfect.
Yes. So that's Tuesday nights at 6:30 at Big Lake.
Okay.
Yeah. And many of them are doing the same, those two groups,
Sure.
partly because of that creative component.
Right.
So,
right.
yes.
They kind of go hand in hand there. So that would
Exactly.
be a good one to,
Yep.
if you're looking at possibly doing two
Right.
things, that would be
a good combination.
a good combo for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. And the teaching team, once we usually go through the topics first. And if you don't want to stay because you're not artsy and crafty or anything like that, then the night, you're free to leave, and then the creative team will stay and finish up the art
Perfect.
stuff.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. That makes sense.
Yes.
And then during the school year, it'll kind of be the same thing.
That's
We'll
right.
figure it out once
Yes.
we kind of get things going
Yep.
and whatnot. But right now it looks like
Yep.
the commitment for that would be Tuesdays if you want
Exactly.
some input on what would be taught.
Yes.
and
Yes.
the formatting, the
Yeah,
proclaim.
the flow. Yeah,
The
exactly.
flow.
The
That's
flow,
the right
flow of
word.
the evening.
Flow.
Yes.
Yes, perfect. All right. So that is the teaching team.